I'm Kevin Owen, this is Jack Smith, and I've heard a couple of times recently where parents come in and they tell me that their kids were just playing video games innocently, but they've been talking to people who have been introducing them to all sorts of things. Do you know who your kids are talking to whenever they're playing their video games?
That's a good question. I don't necessarily, my kids don't play the games where they communicate with other people. They're just more into sports games. I don't have that problem, but I would say this, if they were playing those kind of games, I would not let them close the door. It's the first thing I would say. I would not let them have headphones on where I couldn't hear the other people talking. If they can't find a way where I can hear what's going on in those conversations, especially if we're talking about smaller children, elementary age children, definitely there's no way I'm going to let them talk to random people without me being involved in that conversation. That's just me. I feel like I care too much about my kids' future for something like that.
And Jack's a lot nicer than I am. I don't think your teenagers should be given unlimited access to whoever wants to be an influencer in a chat room. A lot of parents don't know that that's a part of the video games that they're getting when they're paying for those services. And so I'm going to go ahead and just let you know, they don't always know who they're playing with, where they're from, or what they're talking about whenever they're there playing. You should know. You should ask those questions, and you should be able to hear what they're saying. I don't know how many people have told me what they've been introduced to as far as like thought processes goes. And these are teenagers. These aren't small kids hearing cuss words for the first time. No, these are kids learning ideology from people who are playing games with kids who may or may not be kids, or from kids who learned it from YouTube who probably shouldn't have. So know who your kids are talking to.
Yeah, would you let your kid have a phone where random people were calling and talking to him? Probably not. Well, that's what's happening on the game. It's just like having a device where somebody's communicating with you. You have no idea who they are, where they're from, what their motivations are. And if you're allowing your kids to do that, you're putting them in a really dangerous space, because kids, they don't have the mindset yet to be able to deal with those things and look at them in a proper way.
It is a big, scary world, but we don't want to teach our kids to be big and scary, but we also don't want to give big and scary or unknown unlimited access to their minds. And unlimited access to their influence. So know what your kids are doing when they're playing their games for hours and hours and hours. This is where my friends are. Who are your friends? Back when I was a kid and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go out with my friends, my mom would be like, who are you going with? What are you guys gonna do? Well, kids don't necessarily go out with their friends the way that we did, and now I'm gonna get in a game with my friends. Well, who are your friends? Who are you talking to? These are some important questions to ask.
Yeah, I think it's really important to know this. Again, these are the people that might be influencing your children. Even though you're the main influence in their life as the parents, they can be influenced from other people. And if those other people have different values and morals than you do, you're going to be really careful about that. Because again, you could teach your kid could be learning something that you didn't want him to know, or that you wanted to teach him yourself.
He said you're the main influence in their life, or you should be. That is probably true. But let's think about how many intentional hours you spend talking to your kids about what they need to be influenced by, and how many intentional hours they spend talking to strangers in video games. It's a tricky world. It keeps changing out there. If you need someone to talk to about parenting stuff, give us a call.